Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, as JC adjusts our levels, I'm going to keep talking like this, and then eventually I'm going to say, because you watched
Wish
Starcrash. Dr. Alan Berres, Michael Clink, and me, Michael Vanderpool, the hostess with
the mostest.
And that's JC. No one cares about JC.
That's fine.
Oh my.
We are here today to talk about a film, 1997? No, wait.
No,
Whoa.
2015.
Oh, it takes place in 97.
Yes.
2015 Canadian.
Yeah. And New Zealand.
We love the Canadians. Canadians are funny people. Kids in the Hall reference. Dr. Alan Berres picked this 2015 film.
No, this was Clink's choice.
This was Clink's choice?
Yeah.
Yes,
Wow,
I endorsed Clink's choice. I did not.
I sent you guys the trailer.
Usually you pick movies that suck.
I try to go for movies that suck.
Well, this one didn't suck.
I know.
It
I
was
feel
disappointing.
I feel bad.
It just disappointed me, in all honesty. So, Clinker, tell us the story. What did you do to pick this film? Why did we watch Turbo Kid?
Well, last episode we watched Mad Max, and so I thought I'd look it up on the interwebs on Amazon Prime, and from that they gave me all these other apocalyptic movies. I was scrolling through and I saw Turbo Kid. I'm like, this looks interesting, so I watched the trailer for it. I'm like, oh, this looks kind of fun. And I was hoping it would be more like Italian Spider-Man, Velocipaster, Galaxy Lords type quality.
I cannot believe you put those three films together, because those three things, one of them is not like the other.
No, one of them is not like the other.
Galaxy Lords is not a real movie.
No, it is not.
It's video clips spliced together somewhat coherently.
But it was also on Amazon Prime.
My movie's on Amazon Prime. Doesn't mean a lot.
Exactly. So I thought it'd be like this weird, fun kind of thing. Like, what the hell is happening? What's going on? Oh my God. And then it was like an actual movie. And it was actually kind of fun.
Was it though?
I thought it was fun.
It's like an R-rated Wall-E.
Yeah, you're saying that. So I watched it last night again, and the first part of the movie, I couldn't stop seeing it. And then it kind of went away after that.
Right on. I can see that. So,
I have a recap if you want.
Well, yeah, tell us the story, Clinker.
Okay.
Set the
I have it
mood.
written down. Ready?
This will be like the opening sequence when the exposition is delivered in this film via voiceover versus a crawl.
Well, okay. The year is 1997. The world has come to an end and humanity is scattered, scavenging for food and supplies. Clean water is in high demand and controlled by one man. When one day, a boy and a mystical robot friend will set out to end this reign of terror, murdering their way to the top. It's Turbo Kid.
You went like so deep to like, hey, Mom. That was like Peter Brady's puberty. Condensed. Remember that episode of the Brady Bunch?
I didn't watch.
You never watched the Brady Bunch?
Eh.
Alan did. Alan knows what I'm talking about.
Clink is a zygote. He is not going to watch the Brady Bunch.
Hey, I watched Get Smart
Grandpa.
and Green Acres and Dick Van Dyke Show and all those other old TV shows.
Really? And how did you miss?
Yeah, but those were all good.
Yeah,
well,
no,
not Green Acres. Green Acres wasn't really
yeah,
good,
I know.
but it was entertaining.
Dobie Gillis. The world according to Dobie Gillis.
I didn't watch that.
Just because Clink looks as old as the rest of you doesn't mean he is as old as the rest of you.
Shirley gets a raise. Nice job, JC.
Thank you.
2 points, JC. I watched this movie.
I hope so.
All the way through first sitting.
Hey!
I haven't done that in a long time with any of these movies.
Yet you didn't like this movie.
I don't want to say that I didn't like it, but it's not like that interesting.
It's not going to change your life.
No.
I mean, it's not that kind of movie.
It's not like
This is a cute little movie that you watch as part of watching a bunch of other movies very similar to it. And it's got a few really good scenes in it that you'll remember. And then it's got a kind of hackneyed plot, which is fine because we're going to find that there's not really a lot of really genuinely like surprising post-apocalyptic plots.
What can there be, right? I mean, after
Right.
Planet of the Apes, spoiler alert, right, revealed that, whoa, what happened to the sound? That was wild. What'd you do there, JC?
Work my magic. What are you talking
That
about?
was sweet. I was just trying to be like Joe Rogan and talk to the producer.
Oh, wow. Call me Young Jamie.
When in Planet of the Apes, right, the big reveal at the end is, oh my God, it was Earth in the future. Yeah, that was kind of all you could ever do with an apocalyptic movie.
The Village.
What about The Village? Is there a village in this movie?
No, I'm saying the movie The Village.
I've never seen it.
M. Night Shyamalan.
I don't like him.
I know.
I don't like him.
But-
Signs was a great movie until they showed that stupid ass alien.
Yeah, I know.
Like, what is this nonsense? Couldn't it have all been in the priest's head? That'd have been more fun if it had all been in his head.
I find things,
Spoiler alert.
if they're in the characters' heads, it's more interesting. Like Harry Potter, I've been listening to the books, and if Harry Potter were just to go, quote unquote, go to Hogwarts, but he's actually going to a school for the criminally insane or whatever,
Yes.
and everything that he's been doing is in his head,
It's
that
like
would be
that-
more interesting.
Like Community.
Yeah.
Remember the episode where they go to the psychiatrist and they're in the asylum? That to me was the pinnacle moment of that. I'm like, that's what's actually the reality.
Just watched that last week. It was fantastic.
Alan, have you seen that one yet?
Have you
I
watched
have not
Community
seen
at all?
that yet. I have not seen any of Community yet. I've not
Oh
gotten
my
to
gosh.
it.
You should watch it.
So we're gonna do a Community.
I'm stuck on Cobra Kai right now.
Oh yeah, that's
so-
good stuff too, though.
Yeah, JC had to mute for what he just called you, Alan. Just so you know. You've had Alan in class, correct? You've been in Alan's class, or
Oh, it was,
Oh, yes.
It was
Yes.
fantastic.
So Alan, just so he has actual experience, he said you were Chang.
Which he doesn't understand what that
He
is.
doesn't know who that is.
Not there yet.
He's the guy that I sent the clip of where he acted like he was dead and he came in and said I could never die, and then he went out with.
Oh,
the,
yeah. Okay.
Anyways, sorry,
Yes.
we've gone on a tangent, but
What movie?
I'm
Turbo
certain I'll
Kid.
agree with you eventually.
Turbo
Kid takes place in 1997.
Yes.
It begins with a voiceover, quick little setup. Almost, is that exactly what you read, or is that your version of that? Because it sounded pretty darn close.
I wrote that like 2 minutes before I came in because I forgot I needed to write something.
Nice job. The protagonist, I don't even know what his name is. The kid,
Turbo Kid.
somebody Monroe.
Monroe.
His name is Monroe something or other. I don't know. I don't have my Wikipedia in front of me or my
I don't
IMDb.
think.
Yeah, no, the actor's name.
Oh.
Yeah, the
I
actor's
don't
name.
know.
He is a scavenger,
Yes.
so he's got
Wally.
Ray tendencies as well.
Yeah, I saw the Ray thing,
Yeah.
especially when he took the stuff to the guy, and
That
he got
is so
his.
descriptive. He took the stuff to the guy.
That's all you need to know. He took the stuff to this guy, and this guy gave him rations of water, just like Ray took pieces of stuff to the big guy who actually was
Yep.
played by Simon Pegg, and got rations of food. It's the same
Right.
thing.
Yes. JC's here pretending I don't have a cell phone. I could do that myself if I cared to.
I know,
Thank you.
but you're busy.
I love how much you try to help. He's such a good helper.
I feel like
You're like an elf.
I feel like you're genuine about that, but you're also kind of patting him on the head, like, "Good job."
I am condescending and appreciative at the same time.
He
It's an
did
art.
just call him an elf. That is pretty good.
I mean, you've seen what he looks like.
Wow.
He makes fun of my big nose all the time.
If it's that big, somebody has to.
Anyway, so the bike, that's the first thing I noticed because the opening sequence, right? It's basically setting up that this guy's a scavenger and he's got a bike and it's a dirty, dead world. There's skulls and corpses all over the place. So, we should stop there. This thing was shot amazingly well. This thing
Yes.
looks beautiful. The cospums, the set, like this film, I don't know what they spent.
The
'cause I couldn't-
soundtrack.
Oh
incidentally,
yeah, the
too,
soundtrack is
which-
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They spent a lot of money. I couldn't find what they actually spent, but I did go to Box Office Mojo, and I think this film only made like 60K in theaters.
Oh,
like it was
geez.
less than 100K in theaters. It was in theaters for 13 weeks and made less than 100K
In theaters in America or Canada?
in the world.
Oh wow.
Maybe it was Canadian dollars, so maybe it was like a $15 trillion film, but I don't know what the Canadian conversion rate is. I haven't gambled in Canada in a couple of years. Yeah, but the soundtrack rocks. Oh, my first WTF moment, and I only had a few because this film, again, it was just there. This film is just there.
Yeah.
Right. My first WTF moment though was myself. At the very beginning of it, the soundtrack is playing, and then halfway through that, whatever, I'm like, you know what? They should have done this. They should have made this a diegetic sound, like something actually in the film. Non-diegetic is where it's like a score, and diegetic would be from it's coming from the radio. And then immediately after, it is the tape recorder that does it. I'm like, wow! And then when it it was really interesting because I've never seen it done exactly in that way, where it starts external, becomes internal, and then dies.
They did that with Tarantino did that with I want to say with Pulp Fiction, where they were playing the music and then he changes the song. I think it was Bruce Willis before he hits Ving Rhames towards the end of the movie.
Yes, I think you're right.
But that's the only other one I can think of.
I mean, it's happened before.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But I think there was that was in. This is going to be sad, but that was the most interesting thing in this film for me.
If it were shot differently, I think certain parts, like the part where Apple starts going through his stuff.
Who is Apple?
Apple is the robot lady, the whimsical friend.
Pixie Zelda girl?
Yes.
Yes, we're going to talk a lot about Apple here because for me, she is the interesting part of this movie.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Did you see
because she is a parody of the Manic Pixie Dream Girl at the same time as actually being a Manic Pixie Dream Girl. So
she's all that's good in the world.
She's always happy. She's just being a friend.
She's
And
full of joy.
She can murder people if she needs to, but
and the hero's reaction to her is absolute. It made me laugh out loud. It was the fact that he was instantly terrified of her as soon as he sees her talking to her previous friend.
Yes.
Which is a corpse.
Yes, that's amazing.
Yes.
That is exactly the appropriate response.
But there are some parts where some of it had me thinking of like an anime type thing where if a certain character is going through things, like you have a shot of them going through something, and then you, what is that called when you take another shot, but it's like a quick shot or something?
Cutaway, B-roll.
But where they're going through something, and then like a split second later, they're in a different part of the room going through something. Split second later, they're going,
like jump cuts?
Jump cuts, thank you. Yeah. Where if there were a bunch of jump cuts like that, I think that would be more comical if when she were doing that.
Maybe.
But kind of really amping it up with her, I think. Everybody else being shot normally, but with her, it's amped up to 11. I think that would be a little bit more interesting.
Because it's a slow film.
A little bit.
I think it's slow.
It's self-contained.
Most of the films we're going to see, I think, as part of this, most of them are going to have at least slow chunks.
Because you're setting up that desolate world, correct?
Yeah.
Or dying world, whatever it is. So usually in that it's not going to be a robust, active city.
I'm positive there are probably a couple exceptions, but for the most part, I find that apocalypse movies, they're at least going to take their time at some point.
Like Star
because one of
Wars.
the main themes is loneliness, and you can't do lonely quick.
Well, some of us can.
What does that mean?
I don't know, but it sounded dirty.
That deserves 2 claps. I wrote down soundtrack rocks. So Clink, there you go. Point for Clink.
Yay.
Soundtrack rocks.
Clink, I'm still winning. I have 2 points.
For what?
I don't know, but he gave me 2.
Oh, okay. All right.
I have another WTF moment that's not actually in the film.
Okay.
Michael Ironside. Go check out his Wikipedia page. The photo that they used for his Wikipedia page it's intense. It's interesting that was the one that was chosen. But Michael Ironside has been in everything.
Oh, yeah.
For the love of all things
He
unholy.
is one of my favorite bit part guys. He's never the star of anything, but he's one of those supporting heavies in lots of stuff.
Well, I think it's funny, Alan. His early roles, like one of his names is supporting heavy.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's his job.
Brute, yes.
Yeah. He's
the menacing dude who's either like the henchman of the good guys in some cases, who's the intense guy who he plays the equivalent of a domestic terrorist in V in the original miniseries.
Oh, the miniseries. Okay.
He's Ham, if I remember right, is his character, and it's younger Ironsides, but he's really intense in it. And then he's one of the villains in Total Recall.
That's right, he is.
He plays the grizzled sergeant and former history teacher in Starship Troopers.
Yes.
He's in Top Gun.
He's in Top Gun.
Yeah, I don't remember where.
Everybody's in Top Gun. Don't be surprised, Clink.
But with the Total Recall thing, he's not really a villain. He's more of a victim, because that's his wife.
I'm so confused.
His voice got higher again.
Yeah.
He does.
I do that when I'm trying to be
JC.
comedic.
You'll go through it someday.
Anyways, there's a part in this, and this going back to Turbo Kid, there's a part in this where he takes 2 hammers and he duct tapes them together, which is kind of crazy and kind of weird. But Have you guys watched Scrubs at all?
Eh.
Okay, well,
I have.
there's a character on there called the janitor, and he's pretty much like a cartoon
yes.
character, pretty
Yes.
much. He makes up his own stuff. Anyways, there's one part where he had a wrench, and he duct taped a knife to it. And he goes up to the doctor, and goes, "Knife wrench," for kids. And that's what it immediately reminded me of that.
Speaking of Zach Braff, this film reminded me of Garden State as well.
Yeah, you were saying that.
Yeah, just I don't know, and it's been a while since I've seen Garden State, but like that little bit of oh geez, what do we say? Oh wait, we were talking about a movie. Sorry, I fell asleep.
I like Garden State.
I can't believe the most boring movie we've watched and I didn't fall asleep during it. What is wrong with me?
That is weird.
Yeah.
Would you like the list now or later? Back to 0 points. Clink.
Yes.
Yeah, you are.
Yes.
Good job.
So do you guys, Alan, do you have any WTF moments?
I don't have any WTF moments because any of my WTF moments were planned by the movie. Nothing's accidental here for me. The stuff that I really liked. Number one, I love seeing Michael Ironside's working again. He looks like 20 miles of bad road, but I should look so good at his age. The over the top fighting and just like the gore that doesn't fit the A's movie setting at all, but
Right.
unlike Galaxy Lords, I found it to be actually a big plus of the movie. I thought it kind of worked.
Yeah.
And it also kind of was a nice contrast to, Apple's surface niceness that she also thoroughly sticks to the lessons of Cobra Kai.
Yes.
Specifically, the strike hard, strike first, strike hard, show no mercy is, well, yeah, that made me happy.
Did you guys watch the prequel music video I shared with you earlier?
I did
That was
actually,
awesome.
and
Yeah.
I really liked
Yeah.
it. I actually think I liked it better than the movie.
I did too.
Yeah.
I've got a quote from that I love. Actually, two quotes because she does Apple when she fights the guy in the prequel thing.
Yeah.
She does what the eyes, throat, and groin.
Yeah.
to
That's
take
awesome.
down the baddie.
Eyes, throat, genitals.
Yes. Thank you, Alan. Alan is always better with the readings than I am. So, but I've got a quote from that, which is the prequel. So this movie, Turbo Kid, they are going to do a sequel, supposedly.
What? Really?
Yeah. But what they did is they released an 8-minute music video-ish type thing that is a prequel that kind of sets up where Apple comes from. And one of her quotes when she runs into the big bad and walks up to him to shake his hand, and he rips off her hand and because Apple's a robot, cyborg, whatever. She says, "Friends don't dismember friends."
Yes.
Which is, of course, ironic because she has just dismembered her friend by trying to pick him up.
her corpse friend who she was hanging out with for a while. But yeah, so if you've seen Turbo Kid, go Google Turbo Kid and you'll find the music video-ish type prequel thing.
That was fun, yeah.
Yep.
I have a quote.
Fabulous,
Do you,
Clink.
do you have quotes at all, Alan? Or
I got a couple, if I remember right. So go ahead.
all right, I only have one. Just because civilization is over doesn't mean we can't act civilized.
Oh,
I thought that was kind of weird.
that will not work for the subtitle of this podcast.
No, it will not.
Oh, don't worry, we'll get ones that will.
Here's my another quote from Pixie Zelda Girl, who I think was my favorite.
Oh yeah.
I didn't like anybody
Yeah.
else in this. "This is my weapon. This is my gnome stick."
Yes.
When she builds her
Her
weapon was
delivery is
phenomenal, yes.
really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to see her as Princess Zelda in Nevermind. I'm putting my pen down.
Okay.
Should I clap there?
Probably.
I'll put the droid sound in. It'll be fine.
Thank you.
But you're not okay.
I'm far from okay.
Alan, what are your quotes?
All right, so your manly bubble is really comfortable.
Oh, yes. When oh geez, the kid learns about social distancing from the character who I've affectionately termed Indiana Dundee. Indiana Dundee, sorry.
Yes.
Yes, he is Frederick the Arm Wrestler.
Yes. So Frederick the Arm Wrestler, who talks like Paul Hogan, looks like Indiana Jones, teaches the kid to keep his distance, 6 feet, arm's length.
He's really got a problem with that too, because then later on he's relieving himself when the guy is next to him and he pushes him away too.
Well, yeah, but people standing next to you when you pee, it's kind of weird.
I know.
I don't even do that at the ballpark. Remember, you ever go to a ball game and the troughs? Yeah. Do you know that? You know about that, JC? Did you ever pee in a trough
When I was 6 years old, yeah.
at the county fair?
He remembers it. And
Oh
everything.
God, that's terrifying.
Yes.
Legitimately one of the more scarring experiences of my life.
Yes.
Ah, that's great.
You're right at eye level, too. It's just bad.
Yeah, it's terrible.
I'm so confused.
He's
when you're
6 years
6?
old.
You're 6.
Yeah.
And you're
Yeah.
at the trough.
Oh, Jesus.
We might have to cut all this out too.
All right, no, we're not cutting any of this out.
It's
No
gold.
circumcisions. So since we've broached or beaten down the decency wall, how come he didn't have sex with this robot?
Because she's a robot.
She
Nah.
threw up on him.
Yeah, but
And she's
still,
kind of psychotic too.
yeah, that's
There's
even
that
better,
issue.
though.
She seems very jokery, where she'd kill you with a smile on her face.
But isn't
Oh,
that
yeah,
a great
yeah.
way to go? Like he's a
I
scavenger
don't know
eating
if that's
rats.
her deal.
He's a scavenger who's eating rats or trading rats for water. His life can only get better if a sexy robot just kills him.
Well, if she's a friendship droid, then she's probably not anatomically correct. Just like Galaxina.
I'd still try to figure it out, but okay.
Another cool character I really liked, and I liked how they played him. I don't
Well,
understand. Okay. Was the skull guy, the guy with the skull mask?
Skeletron.
Skeletron.
Actually.
oh,
A
the guy
very
from Temple
80s
of
name.
Doom.
Okay.
His outfit looked like the one guy from Temple of Doom.
Oh, a little bit. Yeah. Okay. But the way that he pantomimed everything, because he didn't have any lines at all,
Mm-hmm.
but he did really well at being kind of menacing and kind of unhinged, and I liked how he played his part. It was nice.
And he highlights another thing that I ended up really liking about this, and that's that everybody rides bikes.
Yeah, that
Like
reminded
the
me too.
adults are all
Yeah.
riding bikes. I was originally thinking, oh, it's just going to be Turbo Kid who's stuck on the damn bike, but no, everybody's riding them.
But
The only thing I am sorry we were denied is the sight of ancient Michael Ironsides riding a bike. The
Yes.
idea that he would have just been riding this little thing along the wasteland would have been awesome, but no.
That
They
reminded me
spared
too.
him that indignity.
That reminded me of Monty Python and the Holy Grail, where the actual movie couldn't afford all those horses, so
Yeah,
they used the coconuts to act like horses,
Nuts.
and so they banged two coconuts together.
we've all seen it, Clink.
Have you seen it?
I've seen it.
You said you didn't see it.
I've seen that movie.
When?
Lots of times.
Really?
Yeah. Actually, yeah, I have. I put on a lot. Me. Right? They do that in there.
I feel like
It's
we've
only
talked
a
about
flesh
this.
wound.
I feel like we talked about
No,
this.
I've watched
and
it.
You haven't. Okay. Anyways,
Not a huge fan.
but the point is, bikes are cheaper than cars,
And they don't run on gas.
and they don't run on gas.
And they're cool in an 80s way. And one of the things that this movie is riffing on, and thanks IMDb for highlighting the early music choice, apparently the one non-electronic, non-Laserhawk sounding song that's in the movie is apparently a song called Heart of Thunder from the movie Rad, which was yet another BMX movie.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
the one that I had in mind kind of as one of the possible inspirations on this was BMX Bandits, which if I remember right, I'm trying to remember, I think it's young Nicole Kidman who's in that one, weirdly enough. And there's another movie that I sent the trailer to you guys right before we started up. It's a it's a teen motorcycle movie called City Limits. And I'm thinking they're kind of riffing on that too, just a little bit.
I've only started to read Ready Player One and had to put it down because in the first 5 pages, he tries to shove every freaking single 80s reference that he can run.
Right.
There are more throughout the whole thing.
I'm sure. And I haven't seen the movie either. And I started to try to read Andromeda or whatever his follow-up book was. Couldn't even get past a few pages of that. But this seems like the movie that Ready Player One wanted to be, even though I haven't seen Ready Player One. Like, it doesn't beat you over the head with the nostalgia, but it's all there.
Ready Player One.
It's obviously all there, yeah.
Ready Player One?
Beat you over the head,
100%.
yeah. The book and the movie.
That's why I couldn't finish reading the book. I'm like, dude, I get it. You like the 80s.
But it's throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I have a question for you guys then.
24.
Okay. If you had to pick a decade in which if you were making a movie, apocalyptic movie, you had to pick a decade in which the movie took place or a decade's future in which the movie took place. So like the 50s future would be Fallout, if that makes sense. Which one would you pick? So would you pick like the 50s where it was kind of nice and curvy and shiny and then it kind of went to pot? Or would you pick like the 70s, which was already kind of dirty and then just went even dirtier? The 80s where it was kind of shiny and neon-y and now it just kind of got dirtier and less? 90s? What?
I'm going to go with the 70s simply because I could then use the music from the 70s.
Okay.
I'd be split between the 80s and 90s because I'm a big fan of cyberpunk stuff, and cyberpunk did not happen, and it is also a retrofuturistic movement now in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I was thinking about it maybe the 90s.
Did you just ask us a question that you wanted to answer yourself?
Well, I thought we went around.
Okay, go ahead.
See, fine, I won't answer.
That's what
Fine.
he did.
No, it's whatever.
That's exactly what he did.
I'll keep going.
No, go.
Because you all just kept looking at me like I was supposed to answer. So I did.
Clink.
Ooh,
And now
Clink,
I'm in trouble.
Clink, I've got something. I wrote this down. At the end of the first act. So this movie is really, really good, like with the beats and everything, right? Whole Save the Cat beating and...
Yeah. It's very Sid Fieldy,
Yeah.
like standard plot development.
Establishing the characters, and the girl gets kidnapped at the end of the first act. And she yells, "Run, run," and the boy takes off on his bike like a little chicken shit. And I'm like, ooh, that's J.J. Abrams. Threw a distraction up. Hey, don't pay attention. The girl yelled, "Run, run." So even though you're a boy and should probably try to defend sexual stereotypes or defend and save the girl, you just go run off like a scared little chicken.
Well,
Because at that point, they had become almost kind of friendly. Like he leaned in, they had a little almost kissing weird thing. Like he
Yeah.
actually expressed some affection for her. And now he's just going to leave her to some guy wearing an A&W
there were
shirt.
2 of them, though. There were 2 guys, and it's just him. He's not a fighter. We haven't seen him fight at all.
But he built his little hammer chisel flippy thing.
Yeah, but if you notice, he used that on the rat and not anything else.
The rat that got him good first. Yeah. All I know is the wound healed pretty nicely.
Yeah, so...
At the very beginning, I thought that was going to be, oh, wow, it's infected. And his whole face was going to start getting crazy.
But it seemed like that wound and other wounds were showed the passage of time.
Yes.
Because this movie goes by really quickly, and if you don't really think about it, it could be like a day or 2.
Yes.
But the way that the wounds are being healed, it's more like a few weeks, it seems.
Yes. Must have had some neosporin, because in the dirty freaking desert wherever they were, that does not happen like that. But run, run, said J.J. Abrams, and we didn't think about it too closely.
Oh, J.J. Abrams.
I hate you, J.J.
Right?
I want my Star Wars back.
Yep. I want my Star Trek back.
Me too.
Don't-
What's next?
Don't judge us.
You know what this is like? Here, this is what... so, you guys know how TV works, right? Especially like talking head political BS TV, right? I got one guy on one side and another person on the other side, and I'm in the middle. I'm going to say, hey, what about this? And then they all fight each other.
Yeah.
Okay. I was watching CNBC once where you had 2 people who are on totally opposite sides of the political or of the issue. And I think it was one of the hosts threw out a question, and they both actually agreed on it.
Okay.
And it was the most boring TV I've ever seen in my life. Because, oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's a good idea. We should do that. And then the host just sat there. Does you got cricket noises?
I do actually.
Well, stop looking at your phone and play the cricket noises. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Because this movie, I think there's a lot to talk about, but not in the ways that we've talked about the other movies, because this one is actually
Exactly.
Decent.
That's why I feel bad for picking it now.
Yeah, you suck, Clink.
Right?
But then I chastised you for picking Galaxy Lord, so I'm just never happy. Welcome to the...
I wanted to pick Galaxy Lords, and I was hoping this would be another Galaxy Lords.
But you're disappointed.
Right?
How bad actually?
And I will
was
point
Galaxy?
out that for the record, Clink did not select Galaxy Lords. That would be you, Vanderpool.
Did I?
Oh, really?
Yes,
I don't
you
remember this
set
at all.
our initial list.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
The plot thickens in a world.
Well, I mean, honestly, this was. I didn't watch it, and what you guys are saying is it's not that bad of a movie. So
So it's
Oh
kind of
no,
boring.
it's I found it very
Insult Clink's
entertaining.
receding hairline or something.
Well,
Some drama
anyways,
going.
this is an audio podcast, and
As far as everyone else knows, Clink has a full head of hair. Thank you.
and I
Full
can't say
mandate.
certain things to students apparently, so I'm not going to.
Yes. I wonder if this thing. I think it should have won some awards if they submitted to any film festivals. I don't know.
Yeah.
Check out their homepage because like cinematography was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
The costuming was awesome, dude.
It was nice. Yeah.
And now we're done.
Well, apparently it was supposed to take place in a desert, but it was raining because it's Canada. So they had to make the pot.
Is that how the song goes?
What?
Blame the rains down in Canada.
Yes, that is how the song goes. No, so they had to make the puddles green to make it look all nastified, I guess.
Really?
Reasonable. All right, that's
Yeah.
a good workaround.
So I think they did a pretty good job. The only problem I had was the reveal spoilers, because this is actually a fairly new movie, so I don't know if I want to spoil.
Press pause now, go watch it, and then press unpause when you're done.
Exactly. At the end, when when Michael Ironside's character becomes, like, it's shown that he was a robot, it was
Yeah.
kind of a dumb reveal, I thought, because they didn't really build up to anything, and
It wasn't like it tried to be. I mean, was that just a Blade Runner nod, kind of, sort of?
Kinda. It wasn't enough of one to like make it an obvious homage, but it was there. It did explain why Michael Ironside was so damn resilient, however, so at least there's that. It does make him harder to kill.
Well, and I guess one of the driving factors in this universe is the lack of water.
yes.
But that didn't
Right.
feel like it was. It just didn't feel like this movie really had any main driving thing, anything driving the plot.
It's not
Consistently.
Dune in the sense that water is a plot point all the way through, and is like the entire point of the thing ultimately.
And-
It's a little plot thing they mentioned at the beginning. It's a little plot thing they mentioned at the end, and it never comes up in the middle.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
there's a part even where
It makes sense, but it's not big.
yeah, but there's a part even when they revealed that the water is made of humans,
Oh, it is.
and it's just glossed. You saw it twice.
Did I though?
Jeez. But they
Oh,
reveal that.
Yes, you're right. Now I remember.
Now that was a Soylent Green joke.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. It was. I know. And even the cereal that she pours is Soylent Green cereal. But
Yeah, thanks IMDb. I never would have caught.
I never would have either.
Soleil Vert.
but the point is, it seems like that could have been a little bit more of a oh my god type point instead of it's still good. I'll drink the water.
I think this is what's really interesting and amazing about like making movies in Hollywood in general. You can have a I'm going to say that this is a really good movie. Cinematically, it looks good. The script holds up. It's a good movie. It's got, I think, phenomenal acting.
Yeah.
In all honesty, it made $60,000 at the box office. Like,
That's
what do you got to
sad.
do? Yeah, like it's like so making movies is so hard because even when you make a good one, that's the easy part. Getting somebody to watch the dumb thing is the hard part.
You sound
Well,
bitter.
there is a possible explanation too. They might have just made it for the festival circuit and then expected to go DVD or pay-per-view.
Or make a nickel for every 20 views on Amazon like I'm making.
Right.
Yes, I am bitter, Jesse,
God knows
thank
there's
you.
piles of movies doing that on Amazon
Yes.
right now. So
I'm excited because Alan, you gave me, I wasn't sure what movie I was going to pick, but you locked it down for me just now.
Oh, okay. What
oh
is it?
no.
I'm
Am
gonna-
I going to regret this?
I'm going to pick Dune.
I've never seen that, and I
Is
want
that
to see it.
okay? Alan, does that qualify as,
That's another
All right.
world,
Or
though.
is this going to be this is going to be the David Lynch version, right?
Well, there's only one
Yeah.
right now, right?
No, there's a mini series.
No.
no,
really?
this would be
Okay.
the film because I saw it 30 years ago, but is it too much sci-fi and not enough?
You're the one that said aliens
Dune
aren't a thing.
is weird. in that I'm positive we can make an argument for it being an apocalyptic movie. It is definitely one of those, like, you're right on the edge of something momentous happening in the world kind of things, which is evinced by the fact that the books keep on going. I think you can. I think you can get away with it.
Well, we'll try it, and if it fails, then you guys make fun of me, and then
you can apologize.
The podcast
or
is
we'll
better.
Just mock you.
Yes. Sweet.
I have a question.
You can ask a question.
Do robots have souls?
Okay. God equals E equals MC squared is what I believe. Therefore, energy would be in that formula would be the soul. So if there is energy rolling through that robot's circuits, then that is the robot's soul.
Because at the end of the movie, there's a new star that happens because she, quote unquote, dies.
Have you not seen iRobot? Come on,
Yeah.
Clink.
Well, yeah.
It has a soul. Robots
Does
have
it, though?
souls.
It is the consciousness, but not a soul. There's a difference.
Debatable.
There's a difference. Also, if there's a droid or a robot or whatever, anyways, Michael Ironside's character, he is programmed to implement and enforce corporate policy. When does that ever need a giant laser that comes out of his hands and his mouth to shoot out? Like,
RoboCop?
how is?
I don't know. I'm just listen, Shirley. You make the big bucks. You make us sound sexy.
Nobody can do that. I just make you sound less awful.
Wow.
Hey, that's sexy to some people.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I'm kind of upset because I didn't get finished watching this film this morning again.
You didn't finish watching this film again?
No, because I watched it the other night. I only got through the first act this morning, and then dumb stuff happened this afternoon. Like people stole chairs from me and things like that.
Some stuff happened.
Do you have any more questions for us?
I don't think so.
Since this is your movie?
It's not my movie.
I mean, we agree this is, I mean, there's no discussion. It's an apocalyptic,
It's an apocalyptic movie that's actually done fairly well, so it's not as interesting as, say, Starcrash, that was done rather okay, but also kind of crazy.
Well, I think if we, so let's talk a little bit and then we'll wrap up because, dear God, nobody's even listening anymore. Compare it to Mad Max a little bit, because Mad Max we did last week, and that was kind of like our baseline for what we were going to talk about, right? Introduction of the main character, completely different, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where Mad Max, here we get the little glimmer of his boot and his glasses, and he's going to be sexy and mysterious and tough. And this character is just like, he's really, what word can I say right now that's not going to get me in trouble?
He's gawky. He's
what?
a teenager.
Yeah.
These things, you know.
Yes,
this is a coming of age movie to a certain extent.
A very awkward teenager.
Yeah, that's how teenagers are. They're awkward.
Speak for yourself. I was this cool when I was a teenager too.
Oh my.
I was not at all. I was this tall, 155 pounds, and had more pimples than. I'll stop there. So, what other comparisons can we make to Mad Max?
Well, society is, well, we'll have to extend this to the Road Warrior, which again is the real beginning of like the post-apocalyptic stereotype movie in lots of ways. The world's over. Pretty much people are surviving. There's still something of a society, but it's all messed up, and it's very small communities, and there's lots of like petty tyrants that are running things. There's no like overarching state or anything like that. So there's that. Survival is a big thing, like recycling things, using stuff that's left over from the previous civilization is a big deal.
Ooh, it's got a guy from New Zealand, which is close to Australia.
Is he wearing tight leather pants?
I don't remember, actually. He has a leather jacket on and a hat, but I don't remember if he has...
So we've got Indiana Dundee that is the mentor to the kid.
Kind of.
Who was Mad Max's mentor? Was it the
awesome dude with the
scarf and the mustache guy?
Yeah, except he's not a very good mentor.
Yes. Oh, you're running away? Let me know how it goes. I may come with you.
That guy was actually closer to the curmudgeon-y police captain who eventually yells at the hero that this is not his personal war or something like that.
Which is what Riggs gets when he moves to Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Nice.
Another thing I kind of wanted to see out of this movie is they made up every actor that has a mask on. Like even when we first meet Ironside's character, he has a mask on, like a Roman mask. He takes it off so you can see his face. We see that for every single character except for the Skull Guy. So at the end, I wanted the Skull Guy either to reveal that maybe he's his father, or he's some other character that we saw before, or he's just a big name actor that's all they can afford was just that one shot.
Nice.
Kind of like Deadpool 2 with Brad Pitt, where his character's invisible until he gets shot. No, it's not a spoiler.
I haven't seen Deadpool 2 yet.
They all die at the end. Aliens.
Or in Deadpool 1, where they staple Hugh Jackman's cut out to.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah. But I wanted some kind of reveal like that instead of what the character got.
It's so if I were to go back to my Wall-E comparison, Wall-E revisits the past in the idea of the plant as hope for the future, right? So right. that idea in this film there are those flashbacks to Turbo Kid's parents, which kind of try to set up the whole thing with Ironside's character.
Yeah,
I mean, but it just felt like I've seen it before.
Well,
right.
I've seen it a
but you
thousand
have. It's a
times
revenge
before.
story.
We've seen all of these before.
Yeah.
It seems like as we're finding out about it, he is too.
Right.
Which doesn't make sense.
Right. Yeah, like, is there any real impetus for his flashbacks, or are they just happening because this is where it needs to be in the story?
Yeah.
Or should be in the story?
It probably would have, I don't know, it might have been more interesting to have that at the beginning of the story.
Oh, you want
and then flash forward.
Can you recut this for us, JC? Probably not.
Can I get a raise?
Well, it has long been my theory that that young filmmakers can either make a good-looking movie or a well-written movie.
Mm.
And getting both together is that rare flash of genius that, again, only you have to get super lucky to get.
Yeah, I was going to
M.
say
Night
genius and
Shyamalan.
luck. Yeah.
M. Night Shyamalan. He shoots an amazing film. Like, I love the way he directs. But his films, the actual stories, the writing's not that good. Yeah.
And that's true for a lot of directors throughout their careers. You
Yes.
get one or the other.
See
I
Avatar:
think for
The Last
a decent
Airbender.
number of later directors, you can get both.
Yeah.
But right here, you're seeing people who are really good at making a good-looking movie. And the story's secondary.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
So,
fine. It's a visual medium.
I would say story might be tertiary. Is that the word for third thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good job.
Because thank you.
Well, style is more important in this case, and this is another issue we're going to get into with cult movies and any movie that a lot of like futuristic movies in particular. We get a really strong stylistic element, but not as much on story.
This reminds me of Hobo with a Shotgun a little bit because
Right, it's the same kind of movie.
That's a good movie.
Although Hobo with a Shotgun, it's got that oversaturated styling to it,
Yeah, it's uber violent.
and the colors are more
the
saturated,
color, yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, and this, I think that some of the nostalgia for the '80s and how they made it look was too clean.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the world was dirty, it looked too clean. It might have been better if it was a little grainy-er.
Either grainier or like the colors
Grittier?
popped a little bit more. So you have like this desolate wasteland, but like his red helmet would pop more. So they just up the saturation
yeah.
a little bit, and just up everything to 11. If you're gonna make a story like this, make the Manic Pixie Dream Girl like crazy up to 11, and then shoot her a different way.
Is this then? So sorry, you're picking at your skin. I thought you were like making another point.
Can I ask a
but
question?
Hold on a second, because is the failing of this film? Is the failing of this film the fact that the hero is just a boring, nerdy teenager?
I mean,
And we spend way too much time with him up front before he becomes. Does he even become?
It didn't stop any of the other movies that have boring, nerdy teenagers at their center.
Luke Skywalker,
Yeah.
Yeah.
whiny, nerdy, boring teenager.
Yeah. Do I
And
have
Scott
to?
Pilgrim's not terribly interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
Okay, the movie
he's
version,
the center
yes.
of a movie like this.
Yeah, the movie
Yeah.
version, yes, not too interesting, but the comic book version, a lot
Well, that's a
better.
little different.
I'm just trying to think why I'm not like, wow, this movie's awesome.
I mean, I enjoyed it. I had fun. I'm not saying this movie is like, Back to the Future or anything.
Oh, Jesus.
My standard for awesome is, would I have enjoyed this at a all-night movie marathon? Would I have gone, hey, I really liked that one. It had some cool shit in it.
Oh, so you mean with some alcohol?
Yeah. Well, actually, I don't. Well, no. Some of those cases I did have alcohol, but anyway.
I have a question. So you had mentioned cult films, and that got me thinking about Rocky Horror Picture Show. Is that? I've never seen that before, so I don't know. I kind of want.
We're gonna watch Rocky at some point.
Look,
we should do a season of the stuff that we desperately want each other to see.
Yes,
we have to do Rocky. We have to do Showgirls.
Ice Pirates.
What is with you and Ice Pirates?
I love Ice Pirates. That was such a great movie.
We might be watching Ice Pirates before then.
Yes.
Actually.
But is Rocky Horror a pre-apocalyptic, or there was something happening with Apocalypse, right? Or was it?
Rocky is a parody of 1950s science fiction movies with a whole bunch of perversion topped on top of it.
Okay.
So like this movie added all the gore to an apocalyptic film.
Yeah.
Because not all apocalyptic. I can't say the damn word.
Apocalyptic films.
I have not been drinking. I just can't say apocalyptic. Not all apocalyptic films have all ultra violence in them, do they?
No.
I mean, they might be implied, but it's not actually shown on screen like this. Is.
Like City Limits, for example, the trailer I sent you. When you look at that, the worst thing that happens in that is I think some people get shot at. There's no gore in it. It's an 80s crappy teen movie that is only uplifted by the fact that they threw a bunch of money at James Earl Jones to get him to be in it.
James Earl Jones is in this? Ooh,
oh yeah, and he's totally ignored and wasted because it's a terrible movie. I was featured on MST3K. It's almost too boring for them, but then Kim Cattrall shows up and they get like a entire lifetime of jokes out of Kim Cattrall. So
pre-Mannequin Kim Cattrall.
Yep.
Ooh, okay. Mannequin, you ever see that?
Yeah, but a long time ago.
That was a good movie. Anyway, the setting for the final fight looked a lot like the setting for Where's the Wasteland.
Yeah.
Same.
And that's pretty typical though.
Yeah.
I mean,
but even though it's not filmed in the same
slag heap.
Yeah, it's not filmed in the same area of the world, but still it looks familiar.
You guys will have
it's a quarry. It's some empty space where they could shoot. So
is Ironside's character, what was his name?
I forget.
Zeus.
Not the toe collector, right? Oh, Zeus. Toe collector was the guy from Mad Max.
That would be toe cutter. Yes.
Toe cutter, toe collector. Toenail clipper.
Same thing.
I collect toenails. Yes. That's weird.
Is Zeus, Michael Ironside, he's the second to last one to die again in this film, isn't he? Isn't there another henchman that dies after?
I don't remember if they off Skeletron after him or not.
Skeletron, I thought he was before.
I thought Skeletron was before.
Yeah. Zeus is last because they blew up and then she dies.
Oh, and then he comes back because the big reveal and stuff. Yeah.
But then they blow him up, he dies, and then she dies and then it's the flash in the sky, which I wanted to know if robots had souls because of that.
Gotcha.
They do.
Obviously, robots have souls.
Yeah. I thought for whatever reason, I thought that this was another instance where the big bad actually doesn't die last, but I'm wrong. So sorry.
So this is an even better movie now because that happens, and unfortunately, it's not as interesting to talk about. Sad day.
Can I ask my question?
Look,
now?
we're going to accidentally watch other good movies this semester, I'm sure. So
yeah,
you have a question?
I do.
Okay, well we'll keep talking until you forget it.
Thank you.
Let Shirley ask his question.
Oh, jeez.
Thank you. I don't know. Like you guys have talked about this, and it doesn't actually sound like it's a bad movie.
Oh, it's not.
Do you think it was?
It's actually a perfectly watchable movie.
Was it made to be like Galaxy Lords and was intended to be decent and just as trash, or were they trying to make a decent movie here and it's just lackluster?
Well, they were trying to make a fun festival movie. I think ultimately, I think they were trying to get their names out there as doing something that is kind of cute.
To be fair, though, Galaxy Lords was trying too. Like they actually thought they were actually doing something worthwhile and worth.
Yeah, well, so did Paul Verhoeven with Showgirls.
And so did Tommy Wiseau.
And so did Tommy Wiseau.
But I think this is.
And so did James Wynn with Birdemic and any number of others.
Oh, this is going to be great for your career. I'll think about the exposure. never to act again. Yeah, I think this movie, honestly, if it would have been worse, would have been better received. It's one of those blah movies that there's not going to be cult overnight multiple showings. No one's going to throw spoons at the screen at this thing, right? It's like, because you watch and you're like, yeah, they did it. That's a good movie.
Yeah.
Well, the most important thing for modern movie success, as far as like this kind of movie, is does it have a clip that is so stupid that it will go viral on YouTube?
Yeah.
And no, it doesn't, because it's a pretty good movie.
Yep.
And it doesn't have that moment of, I don't know, I'm thinking, oh, in the movie Future Force, where David Carradine ends up beating up Robert Tessier, who we've talked about multiple times on this show, with a flying metal glove. That is stupid. That ended up on YouTube, and the MST3K guys saw it, and it ended up being run on riff tracks. So again, is it dumb enough to get viral? Is how you become a success with a crappy low budget movie.
How would you change this to make it bad enough to watch? What makes this movie bad enough to watch?
Turning everything up to 11, I think, would make it bad enough to watch, but then also awesome to watch.
I think the dialogue was good, but it wasn't necessarily memorable or campy enough to be.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not Bruce Campbell.
There's no, you're tearing me apart. There's nothing like that, right? So I think that's a movie so bad it's good has to have some things to make fun of. There's nothing to make fun of in this movie.
No.
Their success at making a good film is partially responsible for their lack of success at the box office, I think. Because if you see this movie and you walk out of the theater, you're like, hey, was that a good movie? Yeah, that's pretty good. That's not going to get word of mouth to somebody who goes, you got to see it because it's so freaking stupid.
If it didn't have all the gore, I think it could have been more of a, not a kid movie, but more of a younger audience.
This, I agree there 100%. Because the gore, after a while, got stale for me.
If they would have saved the gore to the very, very end where
right.
Dude slices the top of that guy's head off and it spins because he goes for eyes, throat.
The effects were amazing. I thought, I mean, they were really good.
But that would have had more of an impact than gore throughout the whole thing. And yeah. Right. But then if it would have had a younger audience in mind, then I think it would have gotten more, because kids movies are okay, but look at like Ice Age movies or the Shrek movies, and they're not the best. But they're fun to watch, and they're meh. What is he doing?
I'm picking a movie.
Oh, jeez.
Alan, have you seen The Ravagers?
Wait. Pause here. So Alan gave you an assignment we had 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because we skipped last week.
Yeah.
He said, think about it before you come in. Don't just do it last minute. What are you doing?
I'm scrolling through Google search results right now, trying to find a film that gives us something to talk about. I don't think Dune's going to do that for us. Oh, here's another
Are you
one.
kidding me? That movie is it is a combination of awesome, blow your mind with, oh my God, that is so stupid.
So we're going to go with The Ravagers then. I'm kidding. We'll do Dune.
You want to do Dune?
Because there's a new Dune coming up, and then when we post this, it'll get lost in the search results. It'll be fine. Everything will be fine.
Okay.
And the new Dune, the trailer for it looks really good, so I'm on board.
Oscar Isaac,
and again, the Lynch version that's seared in my head. It's not good. It's not bad. It's just Dune. It's so big. It's filled with dumb and awesome.
This is hilarious though. Like I'm looking at, so I did a Google search for apocalyptic films.
Yep.
Fantastic Four.
Which one? The first one?
That's a bit of a stretch.
The second one is
Transformers Last Night. Avengers Endgame.
Yeah.
Avengers Endgame is.
We talked about Avengers Endgame being one.
Oh yeah, you're right. Okay, never mind. X-Men.
Which one?
The Rogue Cut? What the heck is that? Days of Future Past?
Oh, yeah, that's apocalyptic. Yeah.
Okay, never mind. I'm an asshole. Shoot. Wait, that's okay.
You can say that.
We don't have to clap.
No.
What if I call you an asshole? Is that clappable?
No.
Do I have one? Then yes, you can call me that.
He learned that in my class. That's what's funny. Oh, for the love of all things good and holy. Ladies
There's
and
no
gentlemen,
phones and castles, asshole. There's a Rocky Horror Picture Show reference for you.
Clink's like, I've seen it, Clink, and I still don't know what's going on.
That's
It's
one of
been
the
a while.
callbacks.
Nice.
Yeah, the cinematic.
I know one thing where they say flip off the lights in the movie, and you're supposed to actually flip off the lights, like put your middle finger up to the lights, and that's all I know. Like when it's interactive.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
That's
You know.
interactive.
Look at Clink knowing things.
That's all I know.
How
about
Clink
that.
is not on drugs, I don't understand it. He
This
seems-
is naturally me.
You're an art teacher, dude.
Yeah, I know. The fact that there's not joints rolled in his... Never mind.
Anyways, I'm just naturally like this. Don't be jealous.
I am jealous. I have to spin around 13 times to get as fucked up as you are.
Art teachers need to be spacey. English teachers need to accidentally make their students listen to Bob Dylan at some point. We all have stereotypes.
And design teachers say things like, if you look long and hard enough, everything looks like genitalia.
No, that is true. That is true.
I
There is
don't
a
lie.
sculpture on BG's campus. I don't know if you want to cut this, but it looks like from one side it looks like one thing, and then the other side it's a cocoon. And the
Yeah.
other side looks like another thing.
Okay.
Look, it's got both male and female genitalia. If you look at certain sides,
So it's an H.R. Geiger statue, except not interesting. Got it.
kind of, yeah.
So it goes both ways. It is the 90s. Wrap it up. Okay, I'm getting the cue from JC before the FCC comes and says FUMV. Ooh, I feel like Robin Williams, except I'm alive. Too soon? Oh, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you're still listening, God bless you and may He have mercy on your soul. It has been me, Mike V. Do I go first or should I go last? I'll go first.
You already went first.
That's Michael Clink. Ayo.
I say Ayo, whatever. Okay. Ayo.
Whoosh. And Dr. Alan Berres, the one that makes us credible. Incredible. And then JC Shirley, who is here just because I don't feel like editing this after the fact. Oh, wait a second. Did we learn anything? We almost forgot because this freaking movie was so blah. We almost forgot if we learned anything. Real fast. 30 seconds. Click. Go.
Oh, I learned that robots have souls and that you should always look on the bright side of life. Because Manic Pixie Dream Girl looked on the bright
We
side.
should have let him go last. That was really good.
It's top of my head, dude.
Alan, what about you?
I learned eyes, throat, genitalia.
And I learned that if a sexy female robot were to come out of nowhere and hang out with me and I was all by myself, I would have made some different choices than in this film.
Yep.
I'm just going to keep clapping. All right.
Hey, along those lines, we can watch Cherry 2000 later on.
That sounds amazing.
I don't know what that is.
I'm gonna,
It's another crappy post-apocalyptic movie with a sex robot.
everything's better with the sex robot, especially the sex. Bye, folks.
But bye?